Maybe. There it is. What is up? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Shred Show Live. I've got two new, bright, beautiful, smiling faces hanging out with me this morning. And let me tell you what, you are going to want to get to know Monica and Alex because what they are bringing to the table is so mind-blowing, is so exciting for me as a mortgage professional. Now more than ever, dialing in your efficiencies, dialing in your process is absolutely key and crucial to your success. And that is exactly what Monica and Alex have put together with the Pink Note Society. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss this because we're going to be talking about some things where you can start today with their help, dialing in the things that you need to dominate in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? It is time to shred. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and again, welcome to the Shred Show. Who needs a cup of coffee when you're hanging out with us in the mornings? But I cannot tell you how excited I am to be introducing two new friends. You may not have seen them. You may not know who they are just yet, but you're about to get to know these incredible ladies because, like I said, they're going to be sharing some things, some strategies, some ideas around the entire mortgage process. I would dare say they are starting to revolutionize the way we think about the mortgage process. So this is going to be an incredible conversation. Sit down, hang out, and absolutely enjoy our conversation. As I mentioned, Monica and Alex, co-founders of the Pink Note Society. Ladies, good morning and welcome to the Shred Show.
Good morning, Josh. How are you?
Well, I'm hanging out with you ladies, so I'm fantastic. Now I can't complain at all because I know we're about to have an amazing discussion. How are you ladies?
Good.
Delightful.
Ready to get into the conversation, ready to get started with this. So before I get into it, there's a lot I want to talk about. There's a lot we want to share. But between the two of you ladies, there's over 30 plus years of experience in the mortgage industry, which is absolutely amazing. You both must have started when you were probably 10 or 12 in the industry because having 30, just crazy to me. But tell me, I love to hear stories. It's so fun to hear origin stories of how you got started in the industry. So Alex, let's start with you. How did you get started in the industry? And then Monica, I want to hear how you got your start.
I know your go-to joke is no one as a kid decides they're going into mortgage. And I certainly didn't. That was not the plan. But I got into it through SEO. I started working on SEO and websites. I fell in love with it. It's hits that perfect balance of art and science, the data, the writing, the strategy, and all that. So one of my first big girl jobs was at an SEO agency, and I was running SEO for dozens of real estate websites, lots of different property management, residential, rental properties, things like that. And that was my stepping stone into mortgage. So I got to take on a portfolio of websites for one of the biggest, I believe it was the largest private mortgage company at the time. We had dozens of regional DBAs, national brands, things we were managing across several different regions and locations for SEO. And I got to do that. And I got to learn a whole lot. There was definitely a learning curve getting into mortgage, understanding beyond the basics. That was a big pill to swallow of I know nothing. I felt like I was, so smart, so young, so overconfident, but yeah, I took that on, rose through the ranks there, got to do a lot of cool stuff on the website, SEO, lead generation side of things. So that's where most of my mortgage time has been.
Oof, I love that. And you mentioned the learning curve. I'm pretty sure 99% of loan officers think they know way more than they think they know. So that's just how it is. But that's exactly something that you ladies help with. But Monica, what about yourself? How did you get started in this industry?
I been in the industry since I was 18. I worked as a receptionist for a mortgage company in San Diego, California. And at that time, your license could be both for real estate and mortgage. And so I started to help the broker, and he started teaching me about credit. He started to have me sit with his processors. And I really had a knack more for the mortgage side and really enjoyed the process side of things. And created kind of my own process and my own way of doing things. And I quickly was a top producer, let go of the real estate side of things. And from there, was hired by a bank and This was 2003, 4-ish. And the bank had me build out their first retail branch. And I had several different loan officers underneath me. I was bringing in the business. And so taking kind of that methodology and just kind of running with that. Now in 2008, I took a little nap from mortgages, but I came back and started diving into really the process side of things and working with salespeople and aligning salespeople with their operating team and aligning the salespeople with marketing and really combining all of that together. And it's led me kind of here today. But it's really the only job that I've known with the short time out in 2008. So it's in my blood at this point.
Well, I think the whole industry took a nap in 2008. For those of us who were in it at that time, we're all like, yeah, I'm going to take a little siesta. I'll be back soon. I'm going to be back. But both of you ladies have an incredible background within the processes, which honestly, Monica, when you and I started talking about this, and as you shared the Pink Note Society with me and this organization, what you're doing, I was like, wow, two people who incredibly know the ins and outs, the processes, how to become efficient in the process, which again is so critically important, especially coming off a year like 2023. We all know this is something that we have these cyclical cycles of the mortgage industry. There's ups, there's downs, there's ups, there's downs. But if you're not efficient, if you're not using your tech stack, if you're not using all your tools efficiently, you're missing out on opportunities. You're having to focus, you're having to do this, you're having to do that, which as mortgage pros, we all know sometimes we wear multiple hats, but that's exactly why the Pink Note Society was put together, is now you can have somebody help you with those hats, help you with the balancing plate act, if you will. So let's dive into this because honestly, Monica, it all starts with the LO and really being able to analyze each one individually and understand what their goals are and really help them to understand what system is best for them.
Yes, sir. Loan officers come to us and they say, I know I need to do this thing, but I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me? And Alex and I will sit down with them and really listen to them, understand what their goals are, try and figure out what it is that they're trying to accomplish, where they're, feel the most powerful and really creating a tech stack that aligns with not only what they do and how they speak, but in a manner that aligns with how they operate, right? So while we may have somebody who goes to networking events and really thrives that way, making sure what they're putting out there makes sense for the way that they do business and generate, whether it's clients or referral partners, we want to make sure that it makes sense with that. If you have somebody who's been in the business for 100 years and doesn't have their goals set and those things, oftentimes we have to take a few steps back before we take a few steps forward, and understanding what they want to accomplish, how they want to accomplish it, and not trying to be somebody they're not yet. Who are you actually? If you've been in this business 30 years, there's no way I'm going to make you do certain things. I'm not saying I'm not going to push you to do it, but how did you get here? So let's cultivate some of that low-hanging fruit and turbo it up with some technology behind it, and then adding in some of the amazing, beautiful things that Alex brings into it to bring in the search words, bring in the website, and really making it more of their brand and their voice, and in a cadence that aligns with how they normally would operate, that you couldn't possibly achieve as just an individual human being. So creating that with them, regardless if they're brokers or working with a broker or a retail loan officer, we have different ways of making sure what they've been given. If they're retail, we can set that up so that they can operate how they need. Or if they're just, a broker and feeling like they're on an island per se, you want to make sure that they have the things that they need.
Well, this is something that I really think is interesting. And Alex, when we talk about low-hanging fruit, sometimes as mortgage professionals, as loan officers, we may not even know it's low-hanging fruit. So to have somebody like the Pink Note Society come in and be like, well, hey, you walked right past this one. It was hanging right there. You just forgot to grab it. You forgot to pick it up. That's something that, again, as Monica mentioned, Alex, you really specialize in that.
Yeah, I think a good way for people to think about us is a very strategic editor. A lot of LOs, we talk about kind of a Cheesecake Factory menu syndrome of there's hundreds of tools and hundreds of strategies and dozens of social media things you could be on. And unfortunately, a lot of people try to do all of that. And it's just not possible for one person, one brand, one story that you're using as a propeller in a brand to really tell. It's not feasible. It doesn't work that way. So the way we try to explain ourselves to people is think of us as like the red pen that's going to come just murder your outline and give you that low-hanging fruit that actually matters, that actually is good for you. So instead of doing, the good old Ron Swanson quote, instead of doing like 20 things half-ass, let's get like 3 or 4 things that are 100% your thing. Let's optimize, strategize, make sure you can win in all these areas in a very much more narrow strategic lane rather than this throw spaghetti at a wall, hope it all hits, we'll see what happens.
Well, I think that's it. Go ahead, Monica.
I was just going to say is that oftentimes there's a new shiny thing that everybody thinks that they need to have. And so I'm really communicating and providing education about that new shiny thing is one of the things we get privileged to is we get product managers who will reach out and show us something, kind of behind the scenes and give feedback or what have you, and really saying this doesn't really align with how I understood your business, or maybe here's something else that might make more sense for what you actually do, and here's some tips on how you can streamline your process. And from before that my sales coaching is really kind of my heart from where it came from, but to be able to have them do the things that are income producing more and do the other things less, right? You want to make your tech stack your most valuable employee, period.
You really do. And you mentioned what I call the SOS syndrome, the shiny object syndrome, which we as mortgage professionals, we have. Because we'll hear something or we'll see something like, "Ooh, I need to have that. Ooh, I need to have that. Ooh, I need to have that." And we're so all over the place. We don't even know what it is that we got or what we think we needed. And which the SOS syndrome leads me perfect into something you said earlier, which is being on an island. Because sometimes we as mortgage professionals, it can feel like we are on an island, but you ladies bring in the support. You can provide the life raft, you could provide the paddle, you can provide everything. But that support when it comes to this tech stack, when it comes to sales, when it comes to goals, honestly, that's something that loan officers need, whether they recognize it or not. So you can come in and help those loan officers get off that island.
That's correct.
One thing we see pretty often is that LOs generally have one core thing that they're already doing well. They're already killing it with. It's the dozens of supplemental things that they're trying to roll up into it that make things cluttered, get things kind of murky and janky, and keep them from really succeeding in that primary focus. So when we talk about islands, we talk about bridging the gap between the two. You may be killing it with your social media. You may have that brand, that voice. You understand how to post, how to talk to that specific audience. But from the CRM process side, from mining your past client database, from generating leads in a way that doesn't require you to put in hours a week in content generation, those are the things that people may feel weaker in, that they're not supporting the ultimate goal. So part of that strategy for us is understanding what's primary, what's secondary, and what just needs to be cut altogether. What is the cancer that we cut out so it's not sucking time from you and preventing you from actually reaching whatever those goals may be.
Well, this is a really good point that you bring up, Alex, and something that I really see you as as the Pink and Off Society really focusing on is you give them an option. Either you can hold their hand and just be like, "Hey, let us help you through this," or you can be 100% hands off. You can be like, "Hey, let us take this for you," which honestly, Monica, in this day and age, we all have our unique style. Every single one, as human beings, we're all unique. But as mortgage professionals, we make things as difficult as possible because we think we know what's best. But you can come in and say, "Okay, Josh, maybe I just need to hold your hand through this one little part. Let me just help you through this so you can ultimately get things running." Or you may be like, "Josh, you suck at this. Let us just take this off your plate," which sometimes we need that. Sometimes that can be a really good thing. To your point, Alex, that you said a second ago, sometimes we don't even know. Sometimes we need somebody to say, "Hey, you're really good at this. Like, you're fantastic at this. You go focus on this. Let us work on this," which, Monica, that's a huge benefit, having somebody hold your hand or just take it off your plate altogether.
Yes, we have options for every style of whether it's you want to be involved a little, you want to be involved a lot, you want to learn it all. We have a client that we work with who will go to our website and read every single thing because he wants to fill himself with knowledge and he wants to understand these things a little bit better. And we have some people who are like, I'm just going to focus on the selling and I have no desire whatsoever, but I kind of want to give my input when you bring me something so that I feel included. Or you have people who, this is what I do this, everybody else does everything else. We have a team that we work with where one of the guys, he is out there shaking hands, kissing the babies, but they've got a closer and he closes every single one of those deals. And so it's just a matter of, what do you want to be? What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? And how much do you actually want to be involved? And if you say not at all, but I want this to happen, we got you. And it's so nice to build that trust with the loan officers with the end result, because all of a sudden they're getting, people responding. We're helping people build referral partners. We're doing all these things in a way that aligns with them. We got a call last Friday with a loan officer who says, I've got a guy, he just showed me his flyer. I have Total Expert. I know I can do better than this, but I don't have your kung fu, he says. So can you help us? Is this something that you do? So we hopped on a call and we were able to actually introduce them to other features within the platform. We were able to say, not only can you make a flyer, but here's a single property site. Let me customize it for you. So now you can highlight, that you can utilize a buy down, or that you can utilize these things. And so when this realtor who sent him this flyer saying, add yourself to this, kicked it back with a, 10 times better flyer that we knew existed in the platform he had, in addition to providing them a single property site that's going to act as a lead capture. They didn't even know that they had that at their disposal. And guess what? We made a new realtor referral partner for that loan officer. And that's the name of the game.
That is the name of the game. And sometimes, Alex, we as loan officers, we want to jump to the end. Again, we all want new opportunities. We all want new clients. We all want new sales, if you will. So sometimes we forget to start at the beginning. Sometimes having an incredible organization like the Pinknose Society can say, whoa, take a step back. Because as you mentioned, Monica, we may miss part of the process. That's why having the master, if you will, taking like the whole ninja idea into consideration. We just want to start getting out there throwing punches and kicks, but we got to know the foundation, the basis of it before we can become the master ourselves. So having an organization like you ladies put together, you start at the beginning, Alex, and you really say, okay, I know you want to be here, but we got to do these things, and we can do these things for you, but you can't just jump over things if you want these desired results. And Alex, that's something you really put together is like, hey, let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, I think one pitfall that we see quite a few LOs get into, which is completely understandable and it's just human nature. They come to us, well, what are your goals? I just want to make more money. I want a fatter, prettier, more exciting pipeline. Well, cool. What do those numbers look like? How many hours a day are you willing to spend on the phone? How many events are you willing to go to every week? How many handshakes and kissing babies and doing whatever else are you inclined to do? And depending on the person, that doesn't happen for some people. That's not a some people thing. I mean, if we were to take a step back and make a plan for Monica and a plan for me, be completely different. We do things completely differently. Monica is so good at talking to people. It's so good on the phone, so good at reading the emotion and the intent and digging deep. I would do anything to not be on a phone call. I'm the millennial that will avoid phone calls if I don't share DNA with you, I'm not picking up the phone. So I would need a completely different way to do things. It wouldn't work for me. So for us, it's about really asking that why over and over again. Why do you want to make more money? Why does that number matter to you? Why do you not want to go out and shake hands? You want to do more lead generation stuff. Why do you like that version of media than this version? We do that digging of why to get to the kind of core foundation. Then I think once you have that answer, the rest of the stuff makes a whole lot more sense. Instead of kind of duct taping all these random things together, the strategy and the funnel is smooth and pretty and logical for that particular LO.
And
Yeah, go
loan
ahead.
officers will come to us and they won't really know. They just want to, they know they want better. They want better for themselves. And so they go, I just need something that sends emails out in my in process. And I'm not doing that. I'm tired of manually doing that. And I say, okay. And so but we kind of got to take, like I said, do the cha-cha a bit and take a few steps back before we can take a few steps forward to figure out what it is they actually want to do, what it is that they want to speak to, how do they sell? Is it education? Is it like, what is your jam and what is your shine? And we had to really dig into a client that we currently have to really get to that. And the greatest gift that she ever gave us was to say, you guys really legitimized my business. You really took everything that I have been working, 25 plus years for, and really made me feel like I can run with the best of them, that were giving me this anxiety that I wasn't doing enough, being enough. I didn't have the right emails going out. I wasn't on social media. And you created this system so I can do those things, but still feel like myself. But I also feel like I'm good with those people. I can run with them because my emails are being triggered. My nurture campaign is good. My lead to application, workflow is going. All of these things are just with everybody else. And I'm just little old me by myself. And I feel so legitimized. And it was such a gift for us to hear that feedback from her.
Those are the type of stories where you're like, oh my gosh, like it may seem like a simple process, but again, when we're in the weeds, when we're in the thick of it, when we're in the trenches, we forget how much goes into the day-to-day, the workflow, the process of being a mortgage professional and truly running an efficient business. There's a difference. Alex, you mentioned the duct tape idea. We all know those companies that have duct taped and we all love duct tape. There's a light side and there's a dark side and it holds the universe together. It's like the force in our lives, but ultimately,
what's happening? Are we
I
alone?
don't know, but
We're
we're
the hosts of the show now. We're back.
There we
whoa,
go.
I was gonna say, that was fun. Like it didn't like my force. See, the force kicked me out. It's like, whoa.
The force said, "Don't talk about me like that."
The force was strong with this one.
The
Holy
Sith
cow!
Lords came through, Josh.
Yeah, they were not happy with that comment. But it really, when it comes to this idea, you can legitimize them. The fact that you use that word, Monica, I think is so great because we as mortgage professionals, we want to be efficient. We want to show our community, show our clients that we are a well-oiled machine, but we just may not have all the pieces in place. They may be there. They just may not be working. A cog may not be turning correctly. So it takes somebody to come in and say, hey, you've got all the pieces. Let's just make them work together. Let's ultimately put this piece in place, which will help this, which will help this, which will help this. And again, that's what this is all about. And the best part of it all, too, is that you have partners, you have collaborations. We all think we may be the smartest person in the room, but if we all know that we aren't, I don't know, these ladies might be, especially after having this conversation. But even then, you surround yourselves with the best of the best. You bring partners in. If you don't know it, hey, we've got a partner that does. We can bring this person in the conversation. We can help through this piece of the puzzle. Having partners in those collaborations, Alex, is another huge piece of this entire process.
Absolutely. And I think part of the story we're telling as our brand at Pink Note is all these pieces require someone who actually knows them deeply to make it efficient. And we would be, blowing smoke if we said we're experts in every last thing on the universe. It's just, once again, not possible, not feasible, not realistic. So that's why we've tried to cultivate and handpick a really great portfolio of partners for us that range from mortgage tools like appraisal tools to credit learning, like education, how to add another layer to your sales to understanding how credit works for your clients, from social media people, website people, things that we know surface level, but when you need something deep and specific and very strategic, we shoot you over to those people because we want all our clients to get expert level hand-holding, expert level ideas and guidance. So we're really proud of the network of people we've built so far, and we're continuing to find those people and bring them in and make sure we have a plethora of people that are available to our people.
And Monica, I think that's just it. I mean, Alex, as you mentioned, you do have a plethora of different companies, but ultimately that's what you're training on, these partners, these different companies that you've even mentioned, from Surefire, Total Expert, and a few others. partnering with them, helping through the process. And Alex, you mentioned this earlier. We are good as human beings. We're good at a couple things. Bring the other partners in, bring the other pieces in to take the other things that we're not good at, take it off our plate. That's why we here at Shred and Shred have partnered with you guys to help with the video editing needs of the side of our industry. It's those little pieces of the puzzle that truly make us a well-oiled, incredibly efficient team. And again, Monica, that's what you ladies have put together.
We have, and we're we have some of our partners that actually provide content for our page. So for example, we're really big on creating the marketing piece of it, creating the CRM and connecting all of those pieces. We want other people to speak to social media. Social media has so many different platforms you can be on now, and so many different levels. We have people who can provide social media guidance at an executive level. We have somebody who can work with loan officers on a one-to-one level. Our Station 13 gal, Olivia, she is amazing. And she's able to provide things one-on-one and do kind of what we do for the loan officer, so that she's making sure that she's creating their voices. And we have relationships for on a completely different realm. Appraisal Links is a nationwide appraisal company, and they offer our members a discount, a free appraisal after you do one or two, right? So we have these perks and benefits for the people that we're consulting and that we're working with, so that they can really feel like we can be a one-stop solution for your needs. We have, for example, if we had a guy who came to us 30 years in the industry, how many databases do you think this guy has? And how many duplicates do you think we have? And it was all in OneNote. So do you think I'm a data scientist who's going to pull something out of OneNote? No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm not doing that. But my friend John Conroy, who is a data scientist, is on our roster, and we're able to help pull him in and get that turned around quickly, understanding the urgency of mortgages, right? Understanding the process of mortgages, and get that in and done for that loan officer and have his CRM up and running within the week is something that we couldn't do without our partners. I wouldn't be able to do all of these things and provide a one-stop shop for these LOs without our partners. And that includes you, Josh.
Oh, well, thank you. And what a great way to start wrapping up this conversation, because honestly, ladies, you say partners, but that's exactly what everybody gets when they work with the Pink Note Society. They come to you, and now they have a partner. They truly have somebody they can rely on. They know is going to help them through these processes, through these little, they may seem little, but for some of us, it can be like a mountain in our way. And all you need is somebody who can be like, hey, we know exactly what you're going through. We can get you over that mountain. We're here to help you. And whether you feel like you're on an island or whether you're trying to climb a mountain, Alex and Monica, the Pink Note Society, they can help you. They are there to guide you through this process, so you can ultimately be efficient and go out there and continue to dominate within your local market. Ladies, this has been such an insightful conversation. I cannot thank you enough. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want more information, go to pinknotesociety.com. We'll drop the link in the chat for all of you, so you can go reach out to these ladies. They're ready for you. They're excited to help you. So Monica, Alex, thank you so much. This was such a brilliant conversation.
Thanks, Josh.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned, reach out to them. All of us, we can be more efficient. Maybe you just need a couple little tweaks, and those tweaks could be what change your 2024 altogether. It's still the beginning of the year, and now is the time to make those moves. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time for all of you to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.